What is going on? How is everybody doing today? Hope everybody's had a good day, and I hope everybody is having a good week so far. But we are here with another Penn State recruiting video because there is a new crystal ball for Penn State, or I wouldn't say crystal ball, but there's about to be a crystal ball in place. I'm pretty sure, because this is a recruit who's recently been heavily involved with Penn State, and seems like he's the clear front runner to land at Penn State. So we're going to come on here and talk about it. But before we do start, I want to greatly appreciate all the Penn State fans. You guys show me massive amounts of support on every single video, so I do greatly appreciate you guys. You know I'm a Penn State fan, so I love covering this team. So if you're also a Penn State fan, this is a good spot to consume a lot of Penn State content when it comes to transfer portal, recruiting, predictions, pretty much everything. Everything Penn State. We do cover some other teams as well, but Penn State's probably the most posted team on this channel for obvious reasons. So I would greatly appreciate if you did consider subscribing, if you do get to the end of this video and enjoy it. But without further ado, let's get straight into it. So recently, Penn State has emerged as the favorite to land linebacker Case Alexander out of Washington, Oklahoma High School. He's a class of 2027 guy. He's outside linebacker, he's a standout outside linebacker in high school, who's also played some tight end at times. Like I said, class of 2027, multi-sport athlete, which I absolutely love. I talked about this in one of my other videos. I absolutely love the multi-sport athletes. He runs track, he plays basketball, and obviously football as well. So a lot on his plate to balance, and he's made very well high school recruiting profile out of it. Because, like I said, I love when you get these multi-sport athlete guys because they usually work out. More times than not, they do work out because, you get those different traits from each sport that just carries on to the next one, and they really all pile up and translate into each other. Like track, you're obviously going to get a lot of speed from track. A lot of football coaches, like I played high school football. When people really needed to work on their speed, like say you have young wide receivers coming in as freshmen to your high school program, a lot of the times our head coach would send them over to track and to really pick up some speed and really develop them in that aspect of their game. So that obviously helps with speed and stuff. And then basketball is just a super athletic sport, so that's going to help with some of his athleticism and jumping and pretty much everything else. I mean, multi-sport athletes are always good no matter what, especially if you can stay healthy throughout of it. But he's considered a strong and growing defensive prospect throughout the entire country. He has offers from a good bit of places. Just earned his fourth star pretty recently. I expect his recruiting to keep growing. And Penn State does seem to be ahead in his recruitment as of right now. As of like 2 days ago, he is now the favorite to land at Penn State. Originally, it was, I think, Oklahoma and Iowa State were leading. And now you see it's 94.8% favorite for Penn State. So we'll either see a commitment or something pretty soon, I would assume, unless something drastically changes pretty quick, because we've seen that with some of these other guys I've covered in some recent videos. We've seen some major changes like Key Munspell. I mean, it seemed like a Penn State, like, we got two recent crystal balls from Penn State, and ended up going to Georgia. And then Sam Gash ended up getting a crystal ball to Penn State, and that he ended up signing with Michigan State. So you really never know with these recruitments, but Case Alexander is now favored to head to Penn State. He comes from a football family. I'm sorry. His father, Stephen Alexander, played at Oklahoma, had a 10-year NFL career. His brother, Cooper Alexander, played tight end at Iowa State. So you have somewhat of an Iowa connection or Iowa State connection with Matt Campbell in some ways. And, he's known as like a modern athletic linebacker prospect with very good size, I would say. I think he has pretty good size. Already weighing in at 210, standing at 6'3". Versatile. He can play off the ball. He could come off the edge as well, which makes, a lot of coaches really like these versatile players as well, which that really helps with, I think some of that also comes from his athletic background for sure. He makes very quick reads, plays very fast already, so I think the game speed won't really be a problem once he gets over to college. I think, he already plays very quick to be in high school. That's why I expect his recruitment to keep growing, because he's still kind of somewhat of a raw player, and he's still young. He's still very young. I expect him to have a very big year this year. He projects as a hybrid linebacker, but you could see him playing some at edge at Penn State. I know Penn State's done that with some recent guys. We've seen it with really several guys. We've seen them play more that come in as that linebacker role and then translate over to be more of an edge rusher. So I don't really know where Case Alexander would be because it's kind of a to be determined thing whether Matt Campbell and this new defensive staff is going to kind of work the same way as this recent Penn State defensive staff. So we'll kind of see this year and we'll get more of a idea over where Case Alexander could fit if he does commit. And once we kind of see this defense on the field with the new staff, he has very good speed and size combo. Doesn't look stiff out there. Good pursuit. Tracks the ball carriers very well. He has coverage upside, I would say. I think he has very good coverage upside. He's athletic enough to drop into coverage zones or into zones, I'm sorry, or also cover tight ends and running backs, which is very valuable in linebackers nowadays because a lot of times you do get these linebackers who are great tacklers and great running game guys, and then when it comes to covering a running back or covering a tight end, that's where you lack. And we've seen that with a lot of different programs, even at the pro level. I see it a lot in the NFL when you have a guy at the linebacker position, if they're kind of one dimensional and can't really work in the coverage game, like if their coverage isn't too good, you'll see that team go to their tight end nonstop throughout the game and just attack that linebacker position. So Case Alexander having good coverage skills is very good. And like I said, he's very quick, so he can cover sideline to sideline very well. So that's super intriguing to me because he's going to be all over the field basically. You're going to see him all over the field, and I think that's something that you really want to see in a young linebacker as well. And that definitely has something to do with the track background as well, picking up speed, be able to cover sideline to sideline as a linebacker. He's labeled as more of a high ceiling developmental guy with lots of athleticism. So we'll kind of see what happens if he does commit. If he does commit, we'll kind of break him down a little deeper and watch some tape on here or something just to kind of interact with you guys even more. But yeah, that is it for this one. I hope you guys did enjoy. Like I said, wasn't going to go too in depth, but kind of just run some stuff by you, see what you should know, or kind of give you some info that you should know in case Penn State does land, because I want to update on all Penn State news, and obviously this is new Penn State news. So if we do get a commitment, I'll make another video. And there's actually another crystal ball that I'll be making a video on sometime this week. I expect the recruiting class to start ramping up because the transfer portal is officially over for Matt Campbell. Seems like Matt Campbell has his transfer portal class locked in and is fully focused on high school recruiting. So we'll start to see a lot of that coming up, and you'll see a lot of content from me for that side of things. So yeah, if you did enjoy, I greatly appreciate it. If you did consider subscribing to the channel, it helps me out a lot. And we're going to keep pushing out a lot of Penn State content. So if you're a Penn State fan, I greatly appreciate if you did stick around and leave a like as well. That helps me out massively too. Helps with the YouTube algorithm to reach out to more Penn State fans and also some fans of some other teams to just, consume my content, and maybe yeah, maybe we'll keep growing from there. But yeah, that's it for this one. I hope you guys did enjoy. Leave a comment down below what you think of this and how I did in this video. I want your feedback on my videos too. So yeah, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.